Quasi here, and in this video, I want to talk to you about desire versus intention, and why most people have their intentions tainted by desire, and really why desire is stopping you from really achieving the goals as quick as you want to achieve them. This really took me a long time to figure out, and really understanding why this wantingness, this neediness, this desire and holding on to it is stopping you from getting to that level of pure intention, and how to get to it, and really how to balance out effort and surrender. So by the end of this video, you're going to learn the 3 keys that took me a really long time to figure out to get you into that sweet spot so you can effortlessly start achieving your goals. I really want you to stick around till the very end of this video because this is going to be something profound. Before I begin this video, I want to quickly announce that a couple of spots have opened up for the free one-to-one consult with me for the Reality Mastery program. So make sure you wait around till the end of the video for the announcement on that. And with that, let's get started. So in this video, I want to talk to you about creation versus choice and why we misconceive and confuse the idea of creation, and we think that we can create reality. But the truth is that all creation is already complete. So everything that can be created has already been created, except it's just been divided out into that which is manifest reality and that which is unmanifest reality. So manifest and unmanifest. What do I mean by that? Well, anything that is already manifest you can see in physical reality. Similarly, anything that is unmanifest already exists in a plane that's not seeable or conceivable to our senses, but it still exists. Okay, so any single reality that you want to experience already exists. This is what gives rise to the quantum phenomenon. Okay, so everything that you're experiencing right now is all a result of this thought energy being attuned to a certain sector of this unmanifest space. So in the reality space, anything that can be experienced already exists. It's all a matter of you vibrationally tapping into it. Okay? So all the thought energy you're giving out now, all the actions, whether this be in the internal action or external action, and the choices that you make every single day, they're corresponding to a certain lifeline. And according to that, that's what you're experiencing. Okay? So with that being said, how do we bring about certain lifelines, and why is it that we're experiencing some stuff and other stuff we're not experiencing that we want? Well, this comes down to intention. Okay? So what I want you to know is that when you want something and you desire something, this actually affirms the lack thereof. Okay? Anytime you want and need something, you're automatically affirming that you do not already have it. Okay? So it's like we get this kick out of wanting and praying and basically glamorizing something that we don't already have. And when we do that, we immediately establish a separation between where we are currently and where we would like to get to. And the more we keep wanting and desiring, and the more we keep secretly getting pleasure out of desiring and wanting, the more we affirm that separation. Okay? The more you strengthen this current reality that you're experiencing. Now, really what I want you to know, and it took me a long time to figure this out, is that wanting and desiring never brings about a goal. Okay? You can want, you can pray, you can desire all you want, but it'll never bring about that goal. The only way to bring about that goal is to actually move towards it with intention. And intention is more closely related to choice. Okay? When you simply choose a reality, that's when it comes about. Now, obviously, the big question comes, well, what is choice? How do you choose? Do you just simply say, I choose this? Well, it's essentially like this. Choice is like aligning the railroad tracks to helping you lead to that ultimate lifeline. So if I were to really draw this out, this is how it would look. Let's say you have a certain lifeline, a certain trajectory that you're going towards. How you go towards this trajectory is by choice, whether this be an unconscious choice or a conscious one. This is where this model of fate comes in, right? because you keep staying stuck in the same Groundhog Day, the same thoughts, the same emotions, and you keep living unconsciously, what happens is the same thoughts, emotions, and actions, karma, keep playing over and over and over again. That's why it leads you to a certain trajectory. Now, if you want to change trajectory, you've got to wake up and become conscious and make that choice. So now if you made a choice to go to a different trajectory, let's say right now you're going towards a trajectory of your business failing. Okay, let's call this the failure scenario. You want to change that. You've got to consciously intercept your thoughts and make the choice towards success. When you do that, the lifeline changes. You basically align the railroad tracks a different way. That's what intention is. Really think about it this way. Anytime you've wanted something and versus anytime something actually came about in your life, you've completely forgotten about wanting and desiring it, but you were so immersed in the process towards achieving it that it actually came about, right? So let's say when you study to get good grades, you made the intention, and every single action that you've taken, whether this be internally, you were focused on that goal and the choice that you made, and you were focused on studying, and as a result, you put yourself towards studying. And once you let go of that goal completely, you stop wanting and desiring and needing it, but rather you just immerse yourself in the process towards achieving it, that's when it came about. This is why intention is so powerful, because what happens with intention is that initially you begin with a desire, right? So let's say this is desire, but now you're transmuting this desire into intention. And the more you keep transmuting it, what happens is the desire bucket empties up and the intention bucket gets stronger and stronger. So really to symbolize this, intention is the movement. It's the focus on the movement towards the goal. Desire is just focus on the goal itself. You can desire all you want. You can focus on the goal all you want. But if there's no movement towards the goal, aka movement in the lifelines, no shift will happen. Okay, you're going to keep going in the same trajectory. Nothing's going to change. So anytime anything has ever come about in your life, it's all as a result of the intention that you made. And intention is completely devoid of desire. Okay? So intention is like a pure focus on the movement without needing, without that energy that kind of binds you to it. It's just a free movement towards the goal itself. I want you to really remember that. This is something very, very esoteric, something that's more experiential. The more you keep becoming conscious and aware about it, the more you keep practicing it, the more you're going to be able to replicate it in different areas of your life. Okay, it's going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight, but keep practicing it, keep playing around with this idea of intending and completely let go of the desire towards achieving it. And now I'm going to share with you the sweet spot that actually makes this happen. And the sweet spot to achieving pure intention is the balance between effort and surrender. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, in ancient yoga, there's this great book called the Yoga Sutras. For those of you who are avid yoga fans, you know that that's the first book that really brought about Hatha Yoga and every single other sect of yoga. And essentially, it was written by a great sage called Patanjali, in which he talks about that in order to get to enlightenment or the highest level of achievement with yoga, you've got to learn to balance effort and surrender, or vairagya and abhyasa. Okay, so in order to do that, you've got to, take action without needing something from that action. You've got to be okay with just doing years and years of yoga without seeing any result from it. That's the sweet spot between effort and surrender. When you learn to hit the sweet spot between effort and surrender, you've tapped into intention. If you keep taking action every single day without needing anything from the action, then you've essentially hit that sweet spot. So this is again that internal balance that you need to get towards a goal. So to give you an example of this, what most people try to do is they take action, but then they open one eye. They're like, did it happen yet? Ah, shit, it didn't happen. And they always want to take something from that action. We're doing something in order to get something. When you can just do and get yourself immersed in the process and become process-oriented rather than becoming results-oriented, that's when you've hit the actual sweet spot between effort and surrender. Okay, this was something very, very key for me to understand, and something that'll allow you to just work day in, day out without needing something or trying to get an outcome from the result. So you don't care what outcome comes, but rather you just use the result to help you understand that the right process is in place. Okay, so the results are just an indicator of the right process being in place, but you don't get frustrated if you don't get the result overnight. You keep trying anyways. Okay, so that's the sweet spot between effort and surrender. Another thing that will help you reach this sweet spot, by the way, is understanding the concept of detachment versus non-attachment. When we talk about letting go, what most people think is, okay, you should get to a point where you just don't care about it and you're completely disinterested in it. That's not it. You're missing the whole point if you're doing that. Like, if you're trying to get detached, what's happening is now you're becoming insincere about it. You're like, oh, I don't care about it. And you're getting apathetic about it. And apathy, it's a lower vibration energy, So it doesn't serve you moving towards that goal you want to get to. So essentially what you want to do is make this lack of attachment, this surrender, a choice. When you make it a conscious choice, that's when you get to the level of non-attachment. To really exemplify this for you, when you get detached, you're no longer interested in the goal itself. You just lose all hope that it's going to happen. Okay? But non-attachment is the hope that it is going to happen. You still have that, but you don't care that it doesn't happen in the short term. You simply immerse yourself in the process. You do what's necessary and you do what you already know. And the right process eventually finds you, because now you're not creating any obstacle. When you put too much meaning onto something, naturally what happens is you create this boundary between you and the thing that you want. When you say, I want, and I need, and I desire, you're basically creating this bridge between you and what you want. Napoleon Hill talks a lot about desire, but what he means to say is more move towards that desire. You need a massive desire, but if you keep the desire as it is, you're creating like an imbalance, because now it's not getting transmuted into intention. Desire naturally arises as a result of you being aligned to the right thing. Okay? Desire is always going to be there. You can't create desire. It's the human condition to have desire and a thirst for the ultimate. You just need to align yourself the right way to access that. When people get stuck in apathy, that's when they don't have desire. When they're detached, that's when they lose all hope and they don't think anything is possible. David R. Hawkins talks a lot about this in the scale of consciousness, where he says in apathy there's low energy available, and then as you move up, there's more and more. You get to the level of courage when you can intend, when you do think it is possible. Okay? So really, like, every time you desire, you create this separation between your current reality and the reality you'd actually like to experience. So that's not effective at all. This is why we talk about intention, to help you move and erase this boundary and actually create movement from here to there. Right? So when you get to the level of non-attachment, what's happening is that now you're not lying to yourself that, oh, I don't want this. You're being completely honest with yourself that you do want this, but you have a hope that it will come one way or another. There is this underlying faith that it will come one way or the other, and you just do what you already know. And as a result, the right process, the right how will find you anyways. That doesn't matter. So now I want to share with you the 3 keys that is going to allow you to actually implement this in your life and actually speed up your results with manifestation, and actually understanding how to apply intention purely without hampering yourself and keeping yourself entangled in desire. So here are the 3 keys. Number 1, and the first and foremost key, is to make the choice. Whatever you want, just make the choice and align all of your actions to this choice. Okay? And this is what karma means. Karma translates to action, whether this be action in the internal sense or it be action in the external sense. What happens to most people is that they want something, but they have this, their choices are moving, their actions are moving 2 other ways. They want to become successful, but they can't get themselves disciplined, and they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do this and they don't want to do that. They don't want to be uncomfortable, right? So that's why it's like they have the desire, right? They want to move here, but then there's other parts of them that's pulling them in all other directions. What we want to do is achieve congruence in our thoughts. We think about the goal and our emotions. We feel excited and optimistic about the goal and our actions. Our thoughts, our words, our emotions, our actions, what we actually do to help us get there. Now, you might be thinking, well, I've been taking action and I don't really know what it is. It's time to iterate. Because the thing is, you've got to do what you know the best, because you can't do what you don't know. You can only do that which you do know. And part of that is like going out and trying something. Let's say you want to start up a business, you try YouTube or you try some Facebook Lives and it doesn't work. Well, instead of getting frustrated about it and saying, shit, it doesn't work, what's the next thing you can do? What do you know to do instead of what you don't know? Because what happens is the more you immerse yourself in the process, the more ideas come to you anyways. Because now you're keeping yourself in the energy of the intention. Okay, this is what most people miss out on. This is what congruence is. It's about like not making failure a choice. What you want to do is, right now there's like success and failure. So let's say this is success. Let's say this is success and this is failure. What we want to do is seal up failure anyways. There's no such thing as failure. It's just success happening right now, or is it going to happen a little bit later, right? The desired result is either going to come now or it's going to happen a little bit later. But you keep persisting anyways, and you don't start to doubt yourself, because whenever you doubt yourself, that's when you're moving backwards, right? Internally, that's when you move backwards. And then it starts to reflect in your external reality as well. So that's number one, achieving this congruence in your action, whether this be the internal action or the external action, okay? Number two, achieve this balance of effort and surrender. I can't understate to you how powerful this is, because when you get to a balance between effort and surrender, you'll hit the flow state, which is essentially process orientation. Okay? What that means is now you don't care about the results. The results don't excite you anymore, but rather what excites you is the actual process. You love making the videos, you love growing every single day, and you have this underlying faith that you are getting to that ultimate destination. Now, what happens naturally is that the more effort you put in, the more you start to get entangled in it and you try to get a result out of it. That's when you've got to take a step back and really let go of the reins. So you've got to know when to balance this. Know when you're taking too much effort to the point where you get attached to it. Let's say you're trying to get a result, right? You want to grow your YouTube channel, you want to grow your business, and really you've been hammering on it, you've been taking action. But now what happens is you hit a plateau point in your action. So you take action, now you hit a plateau point. The only way above that plateau point is if you show yourself that it's no longer that serious. When the game gets too serious, it's time to show yourself that it's just a game. So now this is the point you got to step back, when you're getting diminishing return on your action and it's no longer yielding the kind of result you want. You're getting stressed, because at this state, if you start to take action from this state of beingness, okay, from I need this, come on, it's going to happen, I need it, that's when you got to let go. Because if you do, then these obstacles you're creating by putting too much meaning on it, they disappear. To give an example of this, when I was trying so hard to take my coaching business off the ground, I would do so much outreach. I would reach out to so many people. I would make so many YouTube videos, 7 videos a week. I would just go out there and just action, massive action. But I saw that at a certain point, it was just stressing me out and it just didn't work. I was getting diminishing returns on my actions, and I just wasn't efficient with it either. I was just trying to get a particular result out of it. So at that point, I just started getting frustrated and I just said, fuck it, I'll let go of it. And I just went to the park and took the day off. And as a result, when I came back, what happened was results. Clients started reaching out to me, people I didn't think would do that. They started reaching out to me and boom, I started having a booming business. That month ended up really, really well. So this was in the starting stages when I didn't understand the concept of effort and surrender properly. But what happens is most people ride this highs and lows. You want to get to the sweet spot in the middle so you don't ride the highs and lows. You don't want to get to a point where you're just taking too much action and you're not surrendered from it. okay? Because then you're going to have to now pull back until you get to that sweet spot. And then when you get too detached from it, then you've got to start to put a little bit more effort in it. So now you just ride this pendulum. Instead, you've got to learn how to turn this oscillatory motion into a more stable one. So you can just, everything that you do is coming from a place of non-neediness. Okay, everything you do is coming from a place of abundance. The beingness that it's coming from is a place of abundance. That's key. And number 3 is getting to that place of non-attachment. This is a more advanced state. Because the truth is, there is action and there is the intention and the place the action comes from, right? The action could come from a place of needingness and wantingness, or the action could come from a place of, I already have, so why not experience a little bit more? That's what non-attachment is, coming from a place of abundance in the first place. When you learn to do this, crazy things start to happen. Now you get to this stability, okay? Now you no longer need it, so what happens is naturally, this action is getting you process-oriented anyways, okay? So to give you an example of this, when I do outreach, I don't need a result. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, no problem. That's the state you want to get to. So once you internally get to a feeling state of, if it happens, great. If not, no problem at all. That's when you've reached non-attachment, because now you take the action anyways. So this is the frame of non-attachment that's going to really serve you. If it happens, great. If not, no problem. When you're completely okay with failing and it not going the way that you want to, but you try anyways, that's the sweet spot. That's when all of these external obstacles fall apart and you move with pure intention. It's kind of like loving someone and setting them free. If you truly love someone, you won't hold them and you won't keep them. If it's like a toxic relationship, you really genuinely want what's best for the person, right? But if you see that this is a toxic relationship, you let them go. Because you want what's best for them, and what's best for them is best for you. So it's a win-win, right? So you don't hold them back, you don't try to keep it because it's serving your needs and it's making you comfortable, but rather you're okay with letting them go. And if they do really love you, and if this thing is really genuine, they're going to come back anyways. You have nothing to worry about. It's having that faith in life. Once you get to that level, that is non-attachment. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. I know this was long, so I want you to go back and really rewatch this and rewatch this and rewatch this, because this was something very, very crucial to me to understand. Once you hit that sweet spot and every single thing that you do, all of this action becomes very, very efficient, rather than you wasting energy on it fighting against yourself. So I'm going to do a quick recap of this video, okay? And what we talked about was creation versus choice and how to reach that optimal spot with your intention. And understand first that creation is just all done. And it's just divided into that which is manifest and that which is unmanifest. Everything that you already want all exists. It's just mostly unmanifest because you're not seeing it. And the goal that we want to achieve is just changing the tracks so that it leads us towards that optimal lifeline that we want to experience. And how that is done is not by neediness and wantingness and desiring, but rather pure intending. When you just move with that choice, you simply make the choice and it comes to you. Because all needing, wanting, and desiring does is it affirms the lack, and it strengthens your current reality and basically keeps you in this track. It just creates more and more of this potential, which doesn't get transmuted into intention. That's the goal. We want to transmute all of our desire into intention. And intention is the movement towards the goal, and desire is the focus on just the goal itself. Okay? Now the sweet spot, which really gets you into pure intention, is getting to effort and surrender, and the sweet spot, the balance between the both. Because naturally what happens is when you get into too much effort, you get a little bit entangled and you're looking for a particular result. It's kind of like, you've been trying so hard, so you try a little bit harder and you just burn everything to the ground trying it. But it doesn't work. At a certain point, your efforts lead to no result. It's kind of like Jeff Bezos. He says after 5 p.m. he doesn't make any more decisions because now, his brain's just burned out and he wouldn't make a wise decision anyways. So he takes that step back and comes back at 10 a.m. the next day. Okay? So that's what you want to do. You want to know your own sweet spot for effort and surrender. Okay? When you're getting to too much effort, it's time to pull back. When you're getting too unattached, then you'll get to a point of detachment. You're surrendered too much and nothing's going to transpire anyways. So you want to put in a little bit of effort. Okay? And that leads me to detachment versus non-attachment. The key difference between that is detachment is a apathetic response to it. It's an unconscious unattachment. Non-attachment is a conscious unattachment. You want it and you know currently you don't have it, but you accept it anyways and you strive towards what you want without needing it. And the 3 keys that are going to help you do that are as follows. Number 1, make the choice and align every single action, whether this be the internal emotions and thoughts that you have or the external actions that you take towards what you want. Okay? This is called congruency. When you get congruent in your internal and your external world, this is the optimal spot to be at. Number 2, balance effort and surrender. Okay? Get to that sweet spot. Get to that point where you know when you're putting in too much action, you're needing too much, so you know to pull back. Because if you put too much meaning on something, it's eventually going to work against you. And similarly, when you get too pulled back, you're not going to make any progress. Number 3, get to non-attachment. And the frame of non-attachment you want to embody is, if it happens, great. If not, no problem at all. I'm going to keep trying my best. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. Also, I'm super excited to announce, as I mentioned before, the free one-to-one consult with me for the Reality Mastery Program is now open. Make sure you click on the link in the description below to sign up for that. A few spots have opened up. They are filling up very, very quickly. I want you to take advantage of it if you've been trying in the past. But essentially who we work with are as follows. People who are professionals who've been trying and have been taking action. They've tried all the different business opportunities and nothing's really worked, nothing's really stuck. And they find that the opportunities are not the problem. Other people have become successful with it. They have all the strategies and tactics. So on paper, they should be successful, but something internally is stopping them. Really helping them unlock that internal ceiling that's keeping them stuck there. Okay, people who are professionals, maybe who are looking to take their careers to the next level. People who are entrepreneurs who are stuck at a certain revenue level. High performers, creatives. If that sounds like you, make sure you click on the link below to sign up for the consult. I hope I see you there. And also, our free Facebook group is open to take advantage of as well. The link for that is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Peace.